I'm Dave from boyinaband.com, and this community question comes from Kinal493 from the boyinaband.com forum. I've just made a dubstep track with some big drums and a big bass, which is causing a lot of clipping in the track. When I try running the mix through Maximizer or applying a mastering suite, it causes a huge reduction in the richness of the track. The drums sound weak, etc. So I'm wanting to know how to remove the clipping but still maintain a heavy sound. Is it even necessary to prevent clipping with dubstep tracks? That's a good question, Kinal493. Okay, firstly, clipping in any genre of music is generally a bad thing, unless you're making glitch hop or scissorcore, which I think is pretty big in Ukraine right now. Clipping occurs when a digital audio signal goes louder than 0 dBFS. Now, I didn't just read out some random keys I typed on my keyboard. dBFS stands for decibels relative to full scale. Basically, the loudest the digital sound system can go without, well, clipping. It's sometimes just written as 0 dB, because engineers have enough acronyms to worry about as it is. So what is clipping? Well, when a sound goes over 0 dBFS, some of the audio data is lost, resulting in a loss of overall quality to the sound. When it's not clipping a ridiculous amount, you probably won't notice too much, but if it clips too much, you'll start to get this horrible distortion, and not in the "oh man, that bass is freaking sweet" way, more in the "oh no, those speakers were ridiculously expensive" way. That's why it's necessary to prevent clipping, and why most mixes aim to be below 0 dBFS. So let's move on to what you say about the mastering suite. The mastering suite includes an M-class maximizer, a limiter, which is a frickin' useful device in the right context, but can sometimes be a bad thing. A limiter takes anything above 0 dBFS and knocks it down to that level. This avoids any clipping. Initially, this sounds like an awesome fix-all tool, but hold your judgment. The reason a track sounds rich and punches hard is largely because of the dynamic range. This is the difference in volume between different elements in the track. By squashing this range, it reduces the richness of the song, as well as the overall volume. And finally, onto the big question: how to remove clipping but still maintain a heavy sound. This is pretty much what every producer is striving to achieve when they mix a track. There's a lot to bear in mind. Mostly it'll come from a lot of trial and error. Sharing your music on the Boy in a Band forum and asking for critiques is a good place to start. But here are 3 things that might help you get started. Number 1. Things always tend to sound better louder, so do your best to avoid getting lured into thinking your mix sounds nice and rich when in fact your speakers are just turned up too loud. This is why it's important to do things like testing your mix on different systems and playing them alongside other professional tracks to gauge how well your mix fares. Number 2. Learn the difference between mixing and mastering. Conventionally, mixing is getting a track to sound right, and mastering is getting a track to sound loud. In this vein, a lot of people tend to mix their songs to well below the 0 dB point. So when it comes to mastering, they, or the mastering engineer they hire, have a lot of headroom to play with when they're trying to make it louder, so they can boost the volume without worrying too much about losing quality. And 3. While hard limiting a track is a surefire way to lose punch, there are techniques you can use in certain maximizers, like the M-Class Maximizer's soft clip function, which when turned up, and making sure the regular old limiter is turned off, keeps the punch of the sound and squashes it using different techniques to those of a garden variety limiter. This can reduce sound quality, but mostly I've just found it's freaking awesome. And also one bonus tip that I wish I knew when I started producing. If a source sound doesn't sound powerful at the start, no amount of boosting or limiting is going to change that. You know how professional songs sound well produced when they're both quiet and loud? It's a long process, but that's what you need to be aiming for. Not just getting your songs to sound good when they're really loud. So how about you? If you have any thoughts on how to keep your mixes sounding rich, please leave them below in a comment. And if you have any questions to ask that you want me to answer in a CQ, head over to the boyinaband.com forum and post in the help section. Cheers for watching, see ya! If you found this video useful, like it and subscribe to keep up to date with the latest Boy in a Band videos. You can follow me on Twitter @DavePBrown, and if you want to improve your production skills, head over to the Boy in a Band forum at boyinaband.com/forum and sign up so you can share your songs to get new fans and valuable advice on how to improve your productions. Links for that in the description. Cheers for watching and have a nice day!